Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo, look. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap. I'm back.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Ery'thang Black, the podcast where we speak about everything black. I am your host, Oluwatumide. You can call me Olu for short, formerly known as Baby Shakur on Instagram. Look at me listing my credentials. And this is my beautiful co-host.
Tingy. How is everyone doing?
Okay. I don't know how I'm doing. But today we are talking about financial literacy in the black community. Because we suck using money.
Yo, money's a problem.
Money is a problem. We don't have it, and when we have it, we don't have it anymore.
Like, the economy literally after COVID, you know what I mean?
In short, in a nutshell, as my English teacher would say, the current economic climate does not allow for us to be loose with money at all.
No.
It has never allowed it, but this one
now is like, it's extreme.
So when I see y'all popping these Ace of Spades and Dimoe and Divev, it's like, okay, that's nice, but you're going to peat out the next day. So what's the point?
So what's the point? But also, like, people are popping these fancy bottles, you know, in their Ferraris. No properties owned.
None whatsoever.
No properties owned. Rents, they behind.
That's a luxury. That's why I'm like, you can only do this, when that is sorted out.
Yeah.
So this is a luxury, hence why it's called luxury, because it's something you enjoy, but you only enjoy after the hard work, but there's no hard work being shown.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, I want my flowers, but you can't give me flowers if I don't show you what you give me flowers for, essentially, right? So today we're going to talk about how to make money, how to keep money, most importantly, but how to ensure that the money grows, because saving can only take you so far.
Yeah.
So instead of buying an Ace of Spades, I would rather you buy a Nike sneaker knowing that you're going to get the investment back.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
If you really want to buy something nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. Within the South African scope and just Africa in general, we have had to come from a place where there was no generational wealth for most of us.
Yeah, facts.
So that meant we had to break the cycle of poverty, which was not easy for a lot of people.
No, not at
hence
all.
why there's still a lot of poor black people today.
Yeah.
And that's why the message is always encouraged to support black business or to uplift the black community so that we can get to a stage where economically we are almost
sound.
With everybody else.
Yeah.
So BEE, was it worth it?
BEE, I feel like, as I said, BEE benefited a select few, to be honest with you. And I don't think BEE actually was progressive enough.
At all.
You know, I feel like, because we're law students, we speak a lot about transformative justice, you know.
But there's no transformation.
Exactly. You know, apartheid ended and it was just like, let's hold hands, Rainbow Nation, but
everybody went back to their mansions and people went back to their
township homes. And now we're actually seeing the repercussions of this. I mean, it's a physical thing. You have Sandton, this beautiful city,
and Alexandra,
and
it's like, just this road that
this
separates the two. Like, you have Sodom and you have Gomorrah, and you have the road. And you see it a lot.
You see it a lot. So it's sort of like, is this idea of black people actually progressing and social mobility, is it real?
No.
Do you understand? In the way we've
made to believe that. No, it's not. BEE for me was the black bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
In the ANC ways reincarnated.
AKA Cyril the Poser.
So we are aware that before the ANC became as big as it is, they needed support from poor black people.
Yeah.
Because those were masses you could easily mobilize because they were the mass. They were the majority.
Yeah.
So it went from Boso Blakey in 1910 to 1918 to meeting the Nelsons in 48.
Yeah.
And then that's when you see some sort of action actually happening within the black community of South Africa.
Yeah.
Not to say there aren't any other black political groups or civil groups that were going on, but this is the main one everybody knows of. So this is the one that people need to be educated about.
Yeah.
With regards to how effective it was. So, yeah, be cool.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who's benefit. Like, there's a select few of black people who've actually benefited from BEE.
Yeah, it created like this elitist group. Hence why I say it was like the black bourgeoisie in the ANC reincarnated, literally. Because it's like you started off like that.
Yeah.
Then you, in a sense, I'm going to use this term loosely, exploited black anger to get what you wanted. And then you just went back to, okay, we're the bourgeoisie again.
Exploit black anger or sold us out?
I feel like exploited black anger to get what you wanted, but you sold us out, isn't like inherently.
Inherently.
So with BEE, it is not implemented the way it properly is. English, my goodness.
You know.
It was not properly implemented.
Yeah.
And because of that, white people have felt so comfortable throwing it in our face to say,
no, they
but
always
we gave you BEE. And it's like, no, you use BEE to reach a certain quota in your company so that you get less tax.
I mean, it's crumbs.
And
it's literal crumbs.
By meeting that quota, it's not like you're even putting black women or black men in positions that they're actually good for, that they're qualified for. It's your cleaner, your tea lady, your quote unquote, and that's why they call it glorified titles, but it means absolutely nothing. Supervisor or manager, but the salary doesn't match to the title.
So I think the challenge comes in because
do I look like I'm shaking in this camera? Because I'm cold. I won't lie. Sorry.
So I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm saying,
sorry.
Basically, I don't know, because if we look at the society right now, especially South African society, and we look at where the capital is, majority of the capital rests with white people. I mean, what do they call that? The Stellenbosch Mafia, for example. They own a lot, they control a lot, they control the politics. I love that you brought that up, When you have money, you know, honestly,
money rules.
Yeah.
Money speaks.
Listen, like, everyone is your puppet.
Money's heavy.
Everyone else is your puppet. So when we see, you know, the rich, the black capitalists, basically, and we see their riches, in all honesty, it doesn't really compare
to theirs. Would you say, in your honest opinion, because obviously it's not a fact, it's an opinion, and I'm going to say allegedly now, so that everything after this is allegedly. Would you say, when it comes to someone like Patrice Motsepe, someone that we see publicly, because obviously there's more of him, but that we don't know, do you think that he is for the black community in a manner of uplifting them through money, or does he just dash money here and there, but then he's more concerned about his relationship with the Stellenbosch Mafia?
Like, here's the thing, I think he's actually more, he gives back, obviously, but he's more for himself, you know. In a capitalist society, you can't give more than you receive.
True.
And unfortunately, as black people, we need a lot of giving. It's not just about building a school. and
Yeah.
then you keep it moving.
Yeah.
You actually have to actively uplift that community and uplift, you know, that space. And the common trend is you go out, you leave the hood and you never turn back.
True.
That's literally what happens. You leave the hood and you never turn back. But the hood has an economy, you know, and that economy is thriving. It's not necessarily legit because there's a lot of informal businesses, but it's still a thriving economy that, I mean, look at Batu sneakers, for example.
Yeah.
That's a prime example of someone who comes from nothing and
Made
made something out of an economy that's the hood.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean? So it's not to say that we don't have our own sort of economy, because we do.
Yeah.
It's just we need to find a way to stop relying on white capital, which is, and it's like, I don't even know how to.
Hence why I'm like, does he actually give back in a way that he can sit and say, you know what, I actually did something? Or is it the sake of pro bono work? Because when you're in the position that you're in to have that amount of money, and I will never be that person that says, oh, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I am telling you what to do with your money. I am telling you what to do with your money. Yeah. You're in that position to see another black person win.
Yeah.
So that black person can help the other black person win. And it becomes like domino effect.
Yeah. But
you blatantly do not. For me, it looks like you're not down for the cause like that.
Yeah. No.
Because, like you said, with black people, we require so much giving.
Yeah.
There's
a lot going on.
There's a lot. So if it's not schools, it's after school centers.
Sports centers.
Yeah, sports centers as well, arts and culture centers. It's places that allow us to conscientize the black youth. Yeah. Because I won't lie, after a certain age, it's very hard to change somebody's mindset. It is. So right now, we are focused on minds that are young, are impressionable, and do need some sort of guidance and the correct guidance, so that when they do reach a certain age, they are comfortable and stable in life. So for me, personally, if I had Bill Gates type of money, everybody would have a solar panel.
That's the thing.
To alleviate the electricity crisis. No kid would have to worry about not being able to go to school. But moreover, I would look into aspects within the economic climate that could create a job that fixes
job
the
creation
issue.
Is number one on the list, you know what I mean? Because I feel like in South Africa especially, it's really one of the biggest struggling points for people in our community, because we fight so hard to sort of assimilate into the white economy. You know, we go to school, we get our education. Do you know how many people have degrees sending out CVs every single time?
So now it's also
not making their money.
For the black home to change the mindset. Oh, to get a job.
No.
It's like, no, to get a job, go to a TVET, bro. Go learn how to plumb. Go learn how to be an electrician. Because that's what is currently needed. It is not the glorified job that your parents made it up to be. Listen, nothing in this world is nice at all. There's no point becoming a chartered accountant, I don't want to say lawyer, because now it depends what type of thing you want to do with your degree. But these so-called glorified jobs that are currently shoved down your throat all the time, being a medical doctor, there are medical doctors out here that don't have a job. So going to university does not guarantee you money. But being handy, like we were back in the day, will.
I think the black community, I think being deprived so much for so long and so many opportunities.
Makes you hungry for that.
Makes you hungry, but also makes you, stupid.
True.
Because I've seen a lot of black families where there's wealth, you know what I mean? But you know the difference between old money and new money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that old saying, you know, the first thing people want to do when they make their coin is buy the car, buy the designer, be flashy, get the private jet, you know, do all of these things like you're saying, all of these luxurious things that in the long run
doesn't make a difference.
It's actually very expensive. I mean, it's like, why would you buy a Birkin instead of using that money to build? Because I mean, you can use that money to actually,
instead of
not
splurging,
even build a school, but like help a school upgrade its facilities.
Or instead of splurging 200K in the club,
exactly,
that's 4 kids' tuition.
Literally, do you understand? So it's like this need of approval that exists in the Black community of like, we need, you know what I mean?
Needs to stop because it brings stress.
Yeah.
I won't lie. There are days where I sit and I get a migraine, and my dad will be like, "What are you thinking of?"
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "Nothing." But in the back of my mind, it's like, where is this money coming from?
Yeah.
Where am I gonna get this money? And I had to have this conversation with myself. It's like the thing you want, right? As nice as it is, because I am materialistic. I'm like material girl. I like nice things. I will never deny not liking nice things, but you have to come to this understanding with yourself that will this bring peace in your life? No, because to maintain it is also going to bring stress.
It's a lot.
So there's no point working so hard to buy a Louis bag, and then now you're like, ish, but I need to maintain this look, so I need to work hard again.
You know, for me, impilo yasesenten is low-key a lie.
It really is.
Because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes,
Yeah.
you know. People acting like they're rich.
But there's nothing.
But there's nothing. People saying, oh, I'm sleeping at a hotel and I'm sleeping. But there's content off, you know what I mean? And I feel like that is the root. And it's a lot of Black people. Because white kids, they have land.
And that's what I want to get at. That's what I want to get at.
They have land. So they're not trying to buy Ferraris. When you see real wealth, it's not flashy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to get at. So for me, it's like, all this is nice to look at, but it also brings stress.
Yeah.
So personally, for me, I would rather stay on a farm.
I would also.
And have cattle. To have cattle.
Literally.
And to have crops. And I would be good. Either self-sufficient or making it a business. I don't care. But that type of isolation brings peace. And that was the true wealth of our ancestors.
That's true.
Where they literally would just chill on heaps and heaps and heaps of land. Yeah, they had the gold, but before they had the gold, they had all of that. So now you need to come to this conclusion with yourself, or this consensus rather, as to, is this the life you truly want to live? Because I mean, in every Bible they say, what's the point of getting all of this stuff here on earth if it's not going to profit you in heaven?
Yeah.
So you need to ask yourself, do you really want to get all of this stuff when you know there's someone probably in the village using witchcraft on you right now to see it all disappear?
Yeah.
Or do you want to get something that you know that 4 generations down, they're still sorted?
And the way I feel about Black Financial Capital, right, the title, is that, to be honest, I feel as Black people in general, we're kind of lost, because the way I see it, capitalism is a Western.
It is a
doctrine.
Western.
It is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is not who we are to our core.
At all.
But we are living in a society.
That's why you don't find peace.
That's why you don't find peace. But for me, it's like, as Black people, we can create our own peace if we go back to our roots.
100%.
Because, like we're talking about with Mtipe, with the money that he has and the influence that he has, I just feel like he's tending to this, probably the Stellenbosch Mafia, because he could honestly take it and share it like how we used to back in the day.
And say, you know what, I'm giving you this amount, grow it into something. And it's yours.
And he could develop it. You know what I mean? Because capital will definitely accumulate if you keep pouring it back into something.
And it's cheaper for black people because it's not like there aren't black entrepreneurs out there. There are lots. But banks make it so hard.
Yeah,
did you know that a low income white family is more likely to get a bank loan than a middle income family? And it's like you have a bunch of people, well, not a bunch, a lot of people that want to do something and want to go crazy with it and just bring in coins, but you are literally holding them back because they don't check your boxes. But if a black millionaire or billionaire had to come through and say, you know what, almost like Shark Tank vibes, and say, oh, this is it? You sure I'm going to get this amount of money in 3 years? Bet, let's do it. It looks promising. And if we don't get it, we don't get it. I'm still a billionaire at the end of the day. Like a billion is not chicken feet.
It's not.
It's a lot of money.
It's a ton of money.
And that's just 1 billion. But you are a billionaire in assets, in money, in everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a very sad sight to see.
It's a sad sight to see.
Moreover, I have a question. And I had this conversation with my physics teacher back in grade 11. Oh, look at me. I'm ruining the set design. But, okay, you know what? I'm going to just leave it there because I feel like I'm embarrassing myself now. All right. Yeah. So I asked him, well, I didn't really ask him, but I just put it out there. I'm like, what are the odds? Well, not the odds, but what's wrong with taking away SASSA grants for a certain amount of people for maybe 6 months to a year? And by taking that money, taking the money essentially means using it to do something for them. So using that money to build a factory that they would work in, and that factory would generate money for themselves and the economy. Because I can give you a fish and that will feed you for a day. But I'd rather teach you how to fish so that you're good for a lifetime.
I hear you.
Will it be hard? Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. But to get better, you need to taste that disgusting medicine. Yeah. It's that simple. So, do you think that would be viable? Given that it's not in the hands of the current government. Okay. Money-wise. Because
the thing is, when you said that, I was going to be like, but this government.
Given that they're not the body that is controlling the funds.
I think, honestly, if I had the money, I would still keep grants because if we're looking at the situation now, people need that support.
100%.
But I would still build the factories and create the opportunity.
But you don't have the money. So with the grant, you see, there's no choices in this. There's no A, B, and C.
I hear you because the thing is to deny
350,
but they literally have nothing because I'm talking about
all of them have
basic
nothing.
Needs, like the basics.
But the question is, do all of them have nothing? Because the people you're selecting people who can kind of like.
I mean, the fact that we have to buy basic needs is very problematic, and that's the first problem with capitalism. But that's not the discussion. Yeah. I just think I hear what you're saying. In theory, I feel like it could work, but practically, people will starve before they can get to the factories and start working. That's what makes it extremely tricky. The grants, even 350, goes a long way. That's about, people can get fed for the month, and if that's not there, what's a run?
How much is 12 kg pap? No, I'm asking because I genuinely don't eat pap like that.
Yeah, so don't actually Google.
if I do, I buy that 13 rand one from Pick n Pay.
I also buy like the small one is that way.
I don't. But I'm actually
price
curious.
Of 12, but it's kg pap.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. But
no, I hear you on that. But like I said, literally, to get there,
think it would need more than just Mutsepe. I think it would need the black billionaires. You know what I mean? The black everyone.
The hockey club.
The hockey club. It would take them, to actually work together to uplift various communities, especially various black communities. Because as I said, for me, the way I see it is not to say that Soweto's not a thriving economy, or in Mamelodi there's no thriving economy.
It just needs to be directed in the right direction. But the thing is, although it is a thriving economy, you don't see it with regard to housing and service delivery. Because if this is an economy that generates almost R1 billion annually, where is it?
Well, the thing is, it's a bit more new. It's to do with the history.
I feel like
the history plays a huge role in.
I think I don't know. I feel like the economy is seen more in the shops than the actual community. Like, I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, you look good, you look fine, you don't look malnourished, you look okay. Your roof is not falling off, or there's water coming out. So that's essentially what I mean when I say we need to see that R1 billion in the community and not just hear that the community makes R1 billion.
I hear what you're saying, but that's where I was getting to, is that if we could not rely on white capital, do you understand what I mean? Because we want to see our own community. We want to see, for example, Pick and Pay. Yeah. I mean, how many people are selling eggs and milk, car washes? How many people have car washes and shops and restaurants in the hood? Do you understand what I mean? A lot of people do, you know what I'm saying? But they need the capital to elevate, to uplift, to take them far, you know what I mean? And it's running a business as a black person is extremely hard, and a lot of black businesses fail because there's genuinely a lack of support all around. You know what I mean? And when it gets to that time in a black business where they need to go to that next level, they find themselves having to knock on white doors. And
white people, no black support.
Because there's no black support.
And then white people take 70%
exactly.
of it.
And then you remain in that
same position.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one.
So it's hard. That's why I feel like as black people, when we make the money that we make and when we become rich, we have a responsibility. It's not a thing of
I am telling you what to do with your money.
I'm telling you what to do. We have a responsibility. We have to go back. We can't just you can't just make it out the hood and say, you know what I mean? And that's why I think what's problematic with the black elite currently is because they're working for the white man.
And overall, there's no education in the sense of you're not going out there and teaching people how they could possibly make money or how they could be better. So even if you don't want to give them money, a key piece of information or a referral would make a
huge difference.
But there's no guidance. Like, I won't lie, this world is man no man. Yeah. Like, you need to know someone to get to where you want to be at. And it is tiresome. It's exhausting, because if you don't know anyone, you are stuck in the same place. Literally, we see it, especially when it comes to jobs. Like after law school, dude, if your father doesn't
on TikTok, I'm seeing people are like, I have a law degree, but I'm working at McDonald's. I'm like, hey,
God forbid. It's not my portion.
That's not my portion.
It's not my portion.
That's not me. But but it's a sad thing to see. I don't know. It's so difficult when we speak back. But also, with this being said, I don't know if you felt it too, but I honestly, as I say, I advocate for supporting black businesses. But sometimes black businesses, the bettering.
business owners need to understand that you don't have the luxury to mess up.
You're
black, full stop.
That's the thing.
As a black person,
Like,
you've never had the luxury to be mediocre.
Yeah.
You can't be mediocre. Moreover, you need to give the world something that they truly need. Because I won't lie, clicks could treat everybody like shit, and people will still go by.
Yeah.
Because they have things people need.
Yeah.
So if you don't have something
that people
need and you treat me like shit, I'm going. Who do you think you are?
But
that's the mindset everybody else is
like,
who do you think you are? Because you're not even, you know.
Yes, but in my opinion, I feel like we also need to level up on our professionalism, especially when it comes to communication,
design, marketing,
time. Like there's so much improvement that needs to be done in black businesses, and we need to stop making excuses of it's my first, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let's
get rid of the t-shirts with the logo. Get rid of the t-shirts with the words. I'm not buying a t-shirt for 450 rand that you got from Chinatown, you know what I mean? For 60 rand that just has a word on it. Who do you think you are?
You see what I mean?
You know what I mean? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You are not a Nike. You are not a Gucci.
Exactly.
That's one thing you just need to come to terms with, is that you are not those people. Therefore, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be mediocre.
But honestly, to be fair, Virgil Abloh did that.
But that's Virgil.
No,
Virgil got married to a white woman. Like we said in the previous episode, they will let you enter rooms you've never seen in your life.
did that though with what was his brand before Off-White?
You see, I don't even know.
It was Pyrex. You probably remember.
Oxalayu.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible to create a brand, because honestly,
but it's one of one.
Dude, but you can make it's not necessarily one of one.
No, I mean the whole t-shirt with
no, but I'm not saying that that's something that you can't do.
You can do it, but it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard, but it's definitely possible for you to do, because a key to what he did was he created Pyrex, and he got celebrities to wear the shirts. And then what happened when Rihanna's wearing Pyrex? Everyone wants to wear Pyrex.
Okay, but you see, there was a plan.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can do that. You can. That's what I'm saying. It's possible for you to do it. You can start a brand.
Okay, so get proper influencers, you know what I mean? To influence your white t-shirt.
Even if everything is about a name, you know what I mean? It's good to create a brand. I don't want people to not create a brand.
No, create the brand.
It's good to create a brand, but just know that business is tough. Pyrex also didn't really make the heights, you know.
Hence why it was Off-White.
Exactly. He went into Off-White, but it was a good starting point for him. You know what I mean? It got his name out there, you know, and it established him. And it's definitely something that you can do as a black person. And I feel
you saw the growth, right?
Yeah, we saw.
You saw, compared to Pyrex and Off-White, there was more substance in Off-White as a brand than there was,
because he became a fashion,
and it was unique.
Yeah,
you see what I'm trying to say? Like you can't be mediocre.
Yeah,
so you can start
somewhere. You can start somewhere. Yeah, you have to level up.
You need a pop off. Like people must want to eat this shirt, bro.
Yeah,
like it must look that good.
You have to start somewhere. You have to start at the gutter. That's what happens with everybody's business. But I just think we have to get the basics done right first. When you have a product,
don't say start out of the gutter. Then don't say start out of the gutter. Say start in a good position. So with the basics, because when you say start out of the gutter, we kind of sugarcoat it to seem like we all start somewhere, and it's
not. But that's not what. I get what you mean. That's not the content. I mean, like, I know we start at the bottom, but starting at the bottom is where you get your basics right. Yeah. Do you understand? You can't not get your basics right at the bottom and expect to get them right at the top. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the basics is, when I have a product and you're saying delivery is on the 15th of August,
it better be on the 15th.
Literally. It must come on the 15th, because to be honest, with other brands, when their shit's not coming on time and their things are coming,
they even throw a little small something to say we're sorry.
Repercussions to that. So get the basics done right. With my problem with black businesses is, you'll go to a lash tech or your hair, and
there's somebody else
there's
sitting in the
somebody else
chair,
there, and I set
it's
an appointment.
if
Do
you knew you were running late, at least send me a message to say, you know what, girl,
you know what I mean?
I'm
running late. You know,
I will deduct some money off the payment to apologize. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But now you're trying to like squash us in there and make us fight for a position.
Or like, you know, the people who are event planners and planning the wedding, you supporting a black business, your wedding is supposed to start at 1, the tablecloths aren't ready, people are still setting up.
You see
like,
there now? You know my name. You know my name, but you will know
understand?
it.
Do you understand? Like,
no, I get you.
Yeah, like the basics just need to be done.
Clean.
Right? Yeah.
In other words, you cannot be mediocre.
You can't.
It doesn't work.
You can't be mediocre.
Seeing as though we got that off the table, money making. Don't give your money to a broker. Don't do forex exchange on Instagram either.
Don't do forex.
FCSA.
No.
Or is it F?
And you mentioned
know.
to me that you shouldn't trade on the Joburg, or what is it?
I mean, you can, but then you won't see large lumps of money. Because you know, you want money.
Yeah.
You would rather trade off Wall Street. Or you'd rather do stock exchange with things like Starbucks and Nike. Yeah. But yeah, with inflation. No.
It's
moreover, you can do simple things like calling your bank. So I know with Nedbank, they have easy equities.
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh, okay, I want easy equities. Where can I start? How many can I buy? Can I have it at compound interest? Or what are the interest rates? But with the repo rate going up, according to the new governor of the Reserve Bank, everything goes up.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, with the repo rate going up, I don't blame people for not buying a house. Because not only do they make buying a house hard, but they force you to get bonds. So anyone who has a house bond now, it increases by literally 2,100 rand.
Bonds are a bit of a.
Depending on the price, but yeah.
Bonds are a bit of a. But I feel
bonds, nah. It's in the word. It's a bond.
Yeah, it is a bond.
It's a money prison.
But I feel like in a way, like, I don't know. I feel like I can speak to my parents' generation, with just trying to get something for yourself, because coming from the position of being a black person, having something that you own, especially land-wise, home-wise,
but they don't
is
own
important.
It after 20 years, that's when they
But my parents are finishing their bond now.
Which is cool. But I'm saying for people who, let's say, start their bond, right? Missing maybe a couple of payments, that house is taken away from you. That's the scary part.
It's a scary, yeah.
So that's why most people are like, you know what, let me just rent. Because it's relatively the same price.
It is relatively.
I don't encourage rent, but I don't blame you if you rent. Because looking at the tax that comes with,
I think,
with a bond and all the rates, and
I think save as much capital as you can to invest in property. So if you're trying to buy a
apartment
house,
buildings,
or whatever, an apartment, if you're trying to own something, whatever it is, save as much capital as you can.
I would say buy as much duplexes as you can. A duplex is pretty much almost like an apartment block. Or whatever. Get as much duplexes as you can within that apartment block. Let that generate capital for you to actually buy the house.
Because I think you can't just come, I'm making a good money, let me just take out actually have something in the bank. Say, okay, I have this much money, I want to buy a house. How much money do I have, normal?
And so don't use that home loans thing. I'm not gonna use the full name of the company because they say slander. But don't use that one because they know what they're doing. Yeah. No, they will make you look like an idiot. Literally. I won't even lie to you. The fact that people have to go as far as arson, like burning their houses down to get insurance money from that, because houses, they make you not want a house. But
they obviously
it sucks.
Banks are gonna make banks are the real enemy in my opinion, because they're gonna make, anytime you go to a bank, banks are dodgy as hell, and the less you have to deal with the bank in terms of, obviously you just store your money, invest your money, but in terms of taking money from them,
Don't do that.
Avoid. If you can avoid it, avoid.
People who take loans from banks have speedy.
They do.
Because after doing those math equations back in high school, I'm like, wow.
Hell no.
Wow, why did you do that? You should have just waited those
You
years. You should have just waited.
Also, like,
there was no point in doing that.
That's how I'm like, saving the capital is important.
You might as well just do that, bro.
Yeah, before you.
So, I don't want to say in closing, because I don't think we're far from talking. Nor do I want to make this a part 2. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't believe in having an hour, 30-minute podcast. Like,
that is...
my attention span just...
Honestly, yeah.
But, no, I feel like we're missing something. So, we spoke about how to make money. Yeah. But we obviously didn't go in depth.
Okay.
But we gave you research points.
Yeah.
So, somewhere to start.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we can close.
We can.
Stop buying luxurious things until you actually have, like, a proper leg to stand on.
Another point that we missed out on is owning whatever you do. Please go get your trademarks. Please
patented, trademark,
make sure
contract
that what you started
is 100% yours.
Please, because you will be robbed.
You will be robbed. And yeah, so as I was saying, and it was so funny that it came from this man, but Vladimir Putin was literally like, people like Greta Thunberg or the climate activists need to understand that when you talk to black people about climate change, you are talking to a box. And he wasn't disrespecting us. I agree. No. Don't tell me to stop eating meat. Because when I was living in my eco-friendly hut, you called it uncivilized.
I will eat meat.
But essentially what he said was to stop telling them. Because you're talking to a group of people that for almost a millennium is 1,000 years, no?
Hey, even a million. Even a million.
Okay, but for almost 500 years, had their wealth stripped from them. Yeah. And now they're in a position where they can kind of get something for themselves, and you want to tell them to stop in the name of climate change. It not gonna walk. It don't pass. It's not going to do anything. Just stop.
Dude, eat your meat.
Once. Eat your meat. Drive your diesel unleaded 95
Please.
But yeah. So in closing, let's deviate from the Louis and the Gucci's because essentially those are designs that were taken from a lot of African cultures. Yeah. So if you really want to wear that, just find an African designer.
Wear your rich nieces.
I mean, there are 1.4 billion people on this continent, and you mean to tell me there's not one person you found that suits your taste? Come on. To invest in the black community.
But another thing is, as black people, I feel like we don't support each other enough because someone like, I don't know if you remember Rich Nisi when he first started his brand, everyone was like, but your clothes are so expensive, but they don't complain about Louis Vuitton being expensive.
Because they want the name.
Yeah, but Rich Nisi is crazy.
I'm not justifying. They want the name. They want the, I'm wearing Louis name.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Rich Nisi.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Makossa. As you can see, I'm wearing Hanifa. This was $400. That's a lot of money. I won't even lie to you with this currency. It's a lot of money.
In the economy.
But I'm wearing that and I love it and it looks way better. And you need to remember that these brands literally steal from black people.
They do.
Johnny Dapper back in the 90s.
Yes, I remember for Gucci. Yeah, he would do bootlegs.
He'd create the jackets, the fits for Bo, Biggie, Tupac, the brand, and they were mad at that. Yeah. And then eventually they hired him. Yeah. And it was like, we are the blueprint. We are the black print, but we are the blueprint at the end of the day. So come back home.
Come back home.
Come back home. Like I said the last episode, we're in a position where we can remember and remember and align with who we once were. Go wear your kente cloth.
Please.
Your shwe, please. Go do that. That's much more prettier than wearing a
Gucci.
like wearing a 100K jacket.
Yeah.
It's pretty, and niggas were jealous, and that's why they stole the designs. So go back.
Go back. Bye-bye.
Anyway, see you next episode.
Love y'all.
Bye.